In this video, we will introduce a client-server example within the Java programming language. This time of day server class adds the exception handling that was and uses the java.util logging package to log errors. Most importantly, it provides the time of day service using UDP datagrams as well as TCP connections. It uses a datagram channel class to receive and send datagrams and also demonstrates how to multiplex the server socket channel and the datagram channel. If we were using the java.io and java.net architecture instead of the Java NIO architecture, the server would have to use two threads. One of these threads would block in an accept method of the server socket channel while waiting for a TCP client to connect. The other thread would block in the receive method of the datagram channel while waiting for a UDP client to send a datagram. Instead, our new I/O server places both channels in non-blocking mode and uses a single thread that blocks in the select method of the selector class. The selector monitors both channels, and select returns when there is activity of interest, a connection ready to accept, or a datagram ready to receive on either one. Now let's run our example. First, let's run our server. Right-click on the server class and let's bring up our subcontext menu. Then we'll select Run as Java Application. Recall that our server will accept the connections. Input and output streams are connected to the sockets on the specified ports. The server listens for connections requesting a service. It accepts the connection, does some server-side logic, and sends back a reply or writes a reply. Now let's run our client. Right-click on the source, Run as Java Application. The client initiates the connection to a known port on the server from whichever port is available on the client. The client sends the request. The client reads the response from the server. Looking at our output here, time in Paris, we can find this logic within our server here. Here's where we construct our date and time. As we can see our output, we can see that our client successfully connected to our server. Our server responded, sending the time of day. This concludes our discussion of our client-server example in Java.